Good morning, everybody. Starting out another day here in mid-April, and it is freaking cold. So cold all the time. Look, I don't know if you can see the thermometer, but it's barely 35 degrees. In fact, here comes some hail. Because it's really close to snowing. At least I made it in my truck before this shit started coming down. Alright, but, you know, I don't know if the world is really heating up, as they say, or maybe these efforts to cool the world are really working, because what I notice around here is that I have to burn wood in my wood stove earlier and earlier every fall, and I'm burning it later and later and later every spring. Usually by this time of year, I'm thinking about taking my wood stove out, you know, and getting ready for summer, planting plants and stuff like that. But if I know better from last year, it's gonna stay like this for another month. Heck, it could be like even worse. We might not even get a summer this year. We didn't really get much of a summer last year, at least not up here. I don't think we had a single day above above the 90s. I mean, usually like in July or June, we'll get a few days where it's like 103, 105 degrees, and we'll just have this crazy heat wave. Well, that hasn't happened in a few years. Definitely didn't happen last year. And we had a lot of rain last year and so much freaking snow. Like, our precipitation was like off the charts last year. We had so much snow on the mesa. That had an effect on our summer. It's basically like a giant air conditioner. As that snow melts, what happens is the wind comes over the mountain from the north, and it crosses over into the valley. And in doing so, a lot of heat is lost in that air mass. And it cools the air off, and it keeps it cool up here, especially. You know, by the time it gets down into the valley, it's less noticeable. But I'm sure it has an effect on their temperature too. You know, so we basically went from kind of hot and dry to considerably cooler, a lot wetter, but in exchange for the added moisture, one effect that has had, obviously, one adverse effect. Yeah, sure, we have enough water for crops and stuff, but you know what? Our grow season has been cut. Last year, most of the crops died because we had this crazy freezing event like in early October, like when everybody still has like a month left. So a lot of crops were lost last fall, and that's not normal for here. We don't usually hit single-digit temperatures in early October. Like, it's usually still kind of like Indian summer at that point, but not this time. And I feel like it's just every year it gets a little bit colder. It's just so much more pronounced up here in the mountains because you're out here dealing with it all the time. I have to deal with it. I might have to look into a different way to heat my house, like, you know, it's just it's a pain in the ass to babysit that wood stove, and especially since I'm going to be running the bike shop hopefully through the winter. I'm not going to be at home all day to babysit it, so my house is going to freeze. And if I don't keep that wood stove going, the house temperature drops fast. It's not insulated. The dogs have access to the outside. Their dog door needs work. I have to fix it. They won't go through it right now because it's too rigid of a door. I've got to put a more flexible dog door in. Right now it's just super stiff, and they have a hard time getting in and out of it. So they prefer just to go out the front door, and they just open it themselves. The door closes by itself, but it's still cracked open just a little bit. And those cracks and all the other little cracks around my windows and stuff that aren't sealed really cause a lot of heat to get lost in my house. Otherwise, it's fairly well insulated. But you know, if I don't do something about it, like this summer, I'm going to be fighting it next winter too, and I'm not going to be around to fight it as much. So I'm just really, really tired of dealing with winter. You know. Some of you guys are probably making fun of me, like thinking, "Oh, you're just being weak sauce and shit, man." You know, like it's just a little cold weather. Buck up, okay? Well, I'll tell you why I hate the weather here. Because I got spoiled. So if you're from anywhere, like I would have to say that most places on Earth have weather similar to what we have here. 4 seasons, periodical good days or good partial days for doing outdoor activities. But then you go to some place like San Diego or Spain, where the weather's literally freaking perfect most days out of the year. I mean, I'm not kidding. Whatever you want to do outside, whether you want to work outside, whether you want to have recreation activity, whether you want to go for a drive, whether you want to go surfing, any outdoor activity you can think of, San Diego weather is just pretty much perfect for it. Almost 365 days out of the year. It's just always beautiful. It's always, it's warm, it's comfortable. But then you come out here after being in a place like that for 9 or 10 years. And when I moved back here to Colorado, it was in the middle of the summer, and there was a lot of crazy lightning storms and thunderstorms occurring in the evenings and at night. And I just remember thinking, wow, this place is harsh. And I get here to Delta, and it's just the wind is whipping really hard. The humidity is like 15%, so it's just dry as a bone out here. And I just kept thinking, like, man, if you're sensitive to anything, it's just a harsh place to be. Now, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but with that beauty comes other things. I mean, you might see me around and you see a big old blue sky, but the air temperature is like 25 degrees and I'm freezing my butt off. So I would say in Colorado here, for the most part, the weather sucks. It really does. Like, if you think, you know, if you're moving here from Southern California or even the desert, like the Mojave Desert area, you're gonna hate it here, really. I mean, it just sucks a lot. Unless you're like one of those people who's warm-blooded or whatever. I'm not one of them. Look, I'm wearing freaking gloves today. I'm just freezing. And there's no heat. The places I go are not heated, basically. My house sucks unless I burn a wood stove constantly in there, which is a very cumbersome activity. So I just let my house get cold. Same with my shop. My bike shop has baseboard heat, electric, and thermostats are turned all the way down. I'm not paying for that. You know. So I need to figure something out here. Hey, dearos, what are you guys doing? Precious animals. Get them a lot of deer around here. But you know, sorry, I had to pay attention to traffic for a second. It's very rare that people hit deer around here. And, you know, when I first moved up here, I was thinking, wow, you know, the density of deer, it's going to be a lot of deer carcasses along the road. We have deer like almost all year round, roaming the streets, you know, the farms and the orchards. They love the orchards around here. I very rarely see a deer hit by a vehicle, and I personally have never hit a deer. And so I think that's really cool, like how either the deer just got smarter, kind of, to like be less twitchy. Because a lot of times when the deer get hit, it's when they freak out and they just kind of bounce in front of your car. unexpectedly. These deer here are like more chill. They just chill. If they're crossing the road, they're just like moseying across like super slow like those deer were. And, you know, you got plenty of time to see them react, slow down, stop, whatever. But it's a weird place. It's a weird place living up here. So if I could just get a handle on the heat thing, like right now is the most comfortable I'm going to be all day in my truck with the heat up. The sun is probably not going to come out today, and even if it does, my shop gets like virtually no sunlight. It's like tucked in a little cave inside, so no solar heat for that. At least I could probably set something up, but you know, I'm not spending any money on that. Got my stimulus check. I'm not so sure about this stimulus check stuff. I think it's a way to hyperinflation personally, but I'm gonna blow it. I'm gonna spend it. If you guys get your stimulus checks, I would encourage you to just spend them. Just spend it. Spend it locally if you can. Help the small businesses. Don't spend it on Amazon. Please don't buy shit from Amazon. Support your local businesses, your local brick and mortar shops. These guys work hard for you. So anyway, I'm going to drive over to the store and pause this video for a second and open up, and I'll catch you guys in a minute and show you what's going on in the shop. Hey guys. So, back here in the shop, it's still freaking cold in here. I gotta blow my nose like every 20 minutes in here. Not because I'm sick, because it's like 40 fucking degrees in this shop. And I'm not turning the heat up in here because I don't want to pay the power. I'd rather just bundle up and deal with it. But eventually, I'd like to get to a place where I can just pay for the power and crank it up to 80 in here. But anyway, here's what's going on in the shop. We got lots more bikes in here since the last time you probably saw it. A lot of the bikes that were outside of my house have found their way here, and I've just been cramming them in here, getting things organized. So there's a lot to go through. People have been coming in and looking at the bikes, and I've been selling a couple of them even as they are. You know, I just tell them I'll fix them up. And getting this area here all organized. This is supposed to be for parts, this shelf, not for wheels. That's what it's being used for now, and just spare racks for stuff, frames and whatnot. But I'm gonna put like seat posts and handlebars and forks and things like that on these shelves, and have everything organized and labeled so I can quickly and easily reference that area when I'm looking for parts, because in this business, it's all about organization. You might think that, you know, a lot of these bicycle parts can be swapped out, but the truth is they're just as complicated as automotive parts when it comes to specifications. So recently I had this bike here, this old Peugeot, this old 70s Peugeot frame. It's like a women's towny type bike, but it's still a pretty large bike. Rather large frame. This is a pretty tall seat tube, fairly long head tube, and I sold it, and I'm going to be building it up with new parts. But one of the problems I had was this. Here's the original fork, and there's the stem stuck in it. So stuck that I couldn't even pound it out from the other side. All I did was wedge that, oh, hold on. My phone is ringing. Okay, well that was kind of annoying. First of all, I answer the phone and nothing, just nothing. Nothing at the other end. Pull the phone away from my face for a second. 1 bar. No connection, and then they hung up, or it just got disconnected. I freaking hate the cell phone connection here. Like, Verizon sucks here. There's like no Verizon service here in town, period. As soon as you leave town and get to the countryside, you're okay. But in town, it's absolutely atrocious. And it's been like that for years. They've made no interest in improving their towers out here. So I'm probably gonna have to switch to Sprint, which, you know, is gonna be more expensive, but it is what it is. And I'll probably end up having to get a landline or an IP phone here in the store. But the other annoying thing is I don't even think that was that actually a call? No. Oh yeah, it was. Somebody did call me. See, that pisses me off. If I can't answer the damn phone because of the stupid cell phone connection here, there's just so many irritating things about this shop right now, like where I'm at. Like the lockdown, the fact that I can't get the service I want. I'm still waiting for my sign. I don't want to rush the guy because I want him to do a good job, but I still don't have a sign. I've been in business for a month. I still don't have a freaking parking lot sign. So, but it'll get here when it gets here. And then, as soon as it's done, guess what? We gotta wait for, you guessed it, a nice day. Pretty rare commodity here in Colorado. How am I gonna hang a sign if the wind is blowing 30 miles an hour? How am I gonna hang a sign if there's freezing rain coming down? That's pretty much what I'm dealing with. So I'm waiting for a day of not one of those things. Which is probably not gonna happen until like sometime in late May. I don't know. It's just tough. Dealing with the weather here is tough. It's always in your way. Like anything you want to do, you gotta fight the weather first. Every freaking time. So anyway, I'm gonna get to work in here, take my mind off some of this crap that's going on. It's been dreadfully slow here at the shop, which really sucks. I don't really have any good repair jobs. I didn't get any new repair jobs last week. Nothing. And I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I figure it'll pick up after things come together. It's just like nothing is coming together right now. Everything is just kind of on hold. I can't even get Google My Biz to approve my freaking account. It's been pending for a month. So it's like everything's on hold. I can't move forward until other people move forward, and I'm still. It's annoying. I hate waiting on people. I really do. I like to be independent, and right now I'm stuck in a place where I am totally dependent on others. 100%. I've exhausted all of my personal resources, spent all my money, used up my connections, and I'm busy now. Now I don't even have time to spare for anybody, so I'm not even making any money right now because I'm putting all my time into this shop. Just kind of scraping by on what few dollars I can get together to buy groceries or put gas in my truck, etc. And believe me, that stimulus check ain't gonna go very far. I already owe more than what that check has, you know, just in late bills and things like that. So, gee, thanks. Now I'm gonna be less in debt, which is a good thing. I'm not gonna complain, but I'm just saying that's like, you know, peanuts. It's peanuts. It's nothing, you know. But it is better than nothing. It is more than nothing. So I'll say that much. Anyway, guys, enough negative, pessimistic ranting. I'm going to get to my shop here. Always makes me smile when I turn a wrench. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.